On the phone, one of our Hall of Famers, Isiah Thomas, kind enough to join us. Zeke, I know how much you respect the game and the person, LeBron James. What's your reaction to the decision, 4 years, 154 with the Lakers?
I love it. Not only do I love it, I admire it simply because LeBron James, ever since he's coming to the league, he's the one guy that has truly bet on himself. And we just gave Oscar Robertson the Life Achievement Award. And, this whole free agency is about what Oscar Robertson did. Like we have the Larry Bird rule, we have the Oscar Robertson free agency rule. And LeBron James has used the free agency rule better than anyone has ever since he came into the league. And what that is all about is he bets on himself. He took 1, 2, 3-year deals so he can stay in control of his situation, in control of his destiny, and he got to be free and he can pick and choose and live where he wants to live and play where he wants to play. And I think he set a great example. And you look at Kevin Durant in terms of what he's doing now, you have a lot of young players who are truly betting on themselves and using the system the way it was meant to be used. So kudos to LeBron and kudos to Oscar Robertson.
Zeke, how far away do you think the Lakers are when you look at this roster now? I mean, clearly the question and the biggest question will be Kawhi. Reports are, again, that he wants to play with LeBron, that maybe they've talked. He wants to go to L.A. We know Philly has been involved. I don't know if Pop is going to rush necessarily, Zeke, to go send Kawhi with LeBron to the Lakers. But how far away do you think this group is now when you add LeBron to Luke Walton's bunch?
Well, I think they're close, but what LeBron is saying, he's willing to trust Magic Johnson to rebuild the team and rebuild the Lakers. And, he trusts management there. So he's placed a lot of trust in management hands, just as he did when he was in Miami. He placed a lot of trust in Miami's hands in terms of 3, 4-year deals, and he signed a 4-year deal with the Lakers. So he believes in what Magic Johnson is saying, and the relationship there is strong. Kawhi Leonard has already said that, regardless of wherever he gets traded to, he's going to only play there for a year, and then he's going to the Lakers. And, you can try to persuade Kawhi to come and stay longer with the team that he signs with or that he gets traded to. But all indications look like it's going to be a LeBron James and a Kawhi Leonard reunion either this year or next year.
Yeah, the point being, obviously, which I guess is the hope if you get Kawhi in Philadelphia, is that, Zeke, we had the situation with Paul George. Everybody thought he was a year away from going to the Lakers, ends up feeling comfortable enough to sign and invest himself long-term into the Thunder. So that would be the hope if Philly gets Kawhi. Let me ask you about Lonzo Ball, because I think there was the question of, can he, Zeke, play with Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons, a guy who wants the ball, obviously not a shooter. I don't think we question whether or not Lonzo Ball, a very talented kid, can figure out how to play with LeBron and vice versa. But how do you see the scenario playing out with his other teammate, LeVar Ball of the Lakers?
Well, LeBron James, excuse the noise in the background, LeBron James can play with anybody. And his skill set, if you look at the leaders in every statistical category over the last 10, 15 years, he's one of those guys that, is leading in scoring. He's up there in assists. He's up there in rebounds. So he has a well-rounded game. So he is truly the positionless player where you can't put him and pigeonhole him into any position. So he's capable of playing with anyone at any talent level. And what we do know about LeBron James is when he shows up, he has a way of making everyone else better. He elevates everyone else's game. So when you're talking about Alonzo Ball, right, a kid like that getting a chance to be around a LeBron James, a professional like LeBron James, who shows up, who works, who takes care of his body, who knows how to train, who knows how to, be a pro, who knows how to be a champion. But he's getting ready to do for that Laker organization, is just reinstill, the things that Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, everybody else who's on that board, Kobe Bryant, James Worthy, he's just getting ready to bring back all those Laker values, the champion values that flow to that organization.
Zeke, appreciate the time. Thanks for a couple minutes on a big night for LeBron and for the Lakers.
Hey, it's a big night for Magic Johnson. My friend,
That's
I'm
true.
happy for you, brother. I love you. LeBron, you're cool, but Magic, my man, I'm happy for you, brother. Here's some love and some kisses.
Thanks, Zeke. I want to take out on set, and D, I wanted to ask you, I've been wanting to since I talked to Kenny about it. You've covered the game for a long time, seen a lot of different machinations of it. I don't want to, just for a couple of years. Yeah. I think back to, the NFL at one point had the 49ers, the Packers, the Cowboys, and it was who's going to beat the AFC. So we've seen this since. I don't ever remember. You've got a stacked championship team that's not going anywhere. Regardless of OKC, some of the dysfunction people saw, there's still Paul George and Russell Westbrook to build with.
Steven Adams.
Houston could have won the whole thing, and the Lakers are just getting started now with LeBron. Do you ever remember such lopsided conferences in your time covering the game?
Sure. Mid to late 80s. Boston, Detroit, Chicago. In the East, we're all Philadelphia. Milwaukee. Nobody remembers the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks averaged 55 wins a year for like 7 years in a row.
Sidney Moncrief.
And Marcus Johnson, they were really good.
In the wrong conference.
In the wrong conference.
Yeah.
They just weren't good enough to beat Boston. So this happens all the time. You have one great team out west, the Lakers, that nobody could put a team together to beat, just like you have in the East. You had whatever team LeBron's on. You couldn't beat it. And so, yeah. That's why I don't get bent out of shape about this. Oh, it's terrible for the league. No, it's not. It's what happens. You have these cycles where a couple of through the draft. In that case, in the early '80s draft, where you had Isiah go to Detroit, number 2 in 1980, and you had Bird go number 6 in '79. You had Michael go number 3 in '84. I mean, you had these incredible players all go east in a 5-6 year period. And so it happens. It does happen in this league. I think it's great for the league. I mean, I'm always taken by the notion that in the sport that's filled with as many alpha males, both on the floor and off the floor as the NBA, you wouldn't think competitive people don't want to kick Golden State's butt. Of course they do.
And I love that. Yeah. They're not running away from that opportunity.
So the Lakers they're not going to sit back and, just keep losing.
Yeah.
No, as you said, they got to land the plane. They landed a big one tonight.
Yeah, no question.
Jumbo jet came in.
And Isiah said it too. He's showing faith in their front office that they can continue to build. And that's meaningful. And the commitment he made contractually is meaningful. Now, again, that commitment comes at a time when he's 33 years of age. And taking $150 million off the table and letting your family know where they're going to grow up is really meaningful. So the time was right for this too. But he's absolutely investing in that ownership group in that front office, and he's giving his future to that. But what I think is the most fascinating thing about all of this talk about the East and the West is who is the alpha that's going to be a free agent out of the West that wants to go dominate the East.
Right.
Because if you're Kawhi Leonard, you're not an alpha, really. You're not outspoken like that. You don't want to be the face. Paul George didn't want to be the face. He's very happy being in the background with Russ playing lead. Who wants to go be the lead now in the East? And it may very well be somebody who's already in Boston. It may very well be somebody who's already in Philadelphia. And they just haven't had the platform yet and haven't grown into that role. You've got two teams there that can be juggernauts in their own right eventually. And Danny Ainge should get a lot of credit now. He's been mindful, he's been patient, and all he did was put that team in the very best position of any team in basketball from future asset value, while his conference is totally up for grabs.